now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of WWF. Don't sue us, Panda Bear, or we'll have beef. With me, as always, is the great Jeff Dye. I'm Freddie Prinze Jr. Let's start the damn show. Jeff, Gunther has arrived.
Yes.
With music, with Ludwig, his presenter, and a damn fine professional wrestler in his own right, demanding your adulation and all your respect and everything else that he demands. He's very demanding. And then Gunther comes out, and this dude, it's weird, man, because, like, I think he's good on the mic, but sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure. I think his wrestling to me feels more AEW than WWE, and then other times I'm like, man, I'm not sure. All I know is he is the baddest ass there is, and he's got people booing him, even though some still cheer. He's got people booing him, and there's only one other wrestler that is getting like genuine boos from people in the business right now, and not like the staged ones where Cody Rhodes cuts a promo and says the name Solo Sikoa and they all go boo. That doesn't count.
Man.
But the only other one is MJF, the one that everyone loves, but they'll still boo him because he knows how to do something that just makes you not like him, right? Like he'll steal a kid's soda and drink it right in front of him. Yeah. Like, I hope they give him merch or something after that. They better hook these poor people up. These poor
I think
fans.
It's better.
You think it's better?
He doesn't. Yeah. And then you leave it to that father to have to explain to him, well, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy, honey.
So
like you have to teach him. Like, hey, that's how that works.
That's so mean, dude. All right, so Gunther comes out and he cuts his promo that he does every week where he kind of looks down his nose at the people, even the ones that are cheering him, and is like, yeah, that's right. You fucking cheer. I'm Gunther. And he's got this very sort of arrogant attitude, and I friggin' love him. And out comes Randall Orton, as Christian once called him, Randall, and then lost the title to him. Randy Orton is 290 pounds, Jeff. He looks better at whatever age he is than he has ever looked in his entire freaking career. Whatever he's eating, I want to eat. And he came out and he challenged him. And some people, I guess, online were like, well, he's SmackDown, da-da-da. I wouldn't get too mad at this one, and jump in whenever you want, dude. They have unfinished business because of King of the Ring and the shady pin that got counted as a fall, which shouldn't have been a fall because Orton's shoulders weren't to the mat. And then secondly, just on a business side of it, SmackDown's rather full at the moment with Roman Reigns coming back, and Cody is the champion, so he is the storyline now. He's no longer the story. He is the story. He doesn't have one. We'll get into SmackDown later. But Randy came out, and I liked that he challenged for it. I think it's going to be an amazing match. We'll give predictions for Bash in Berlin and make y'all some money. Y'all already know Gunther is going to win. You can take that to the damn bank. And yeah, I love Randy Orton more than Gunther. Randy Orton's the guy that hit me with that modified backbreaker, which is a son of a bitch move. But he's badass, man. And I love seeing him being healthy enough to wrestle. And I don't think he cares whether he wins a title or not. I think he just wants to tell good stories and do what he fucking loves for as much longer as he can do it. And they're going to give us an awesome match. But you were hyped for this, dude, right? You love Randy Orton and Gunther.
I love both these dudes.
Hell
and
yeah.
also a few things before I get to that. One, I don't think you want to eat what he eats. This dude must only be eating chicken breast and white rice. This dude is
what
jacked.
I will eat. That's what I shall eat for life.
Orton looks better right now than looking good. Randy Orton looks better right now than I would argue ever in his career. He looks like a man. Like it's the right amount of muscle, it's the right amount of size. He doesn't look stiff. For a lot of wrestlers that have wrestled their entire lives that are at his age are much stiffer than he is. He looks loose. He looks good. I'll make this quickly about me for 1 second. I'm wearing my Cardinals hat.
Oh, you're very Randy Orton right now, you bastard.
I threw a first pitch for the St. Louis Cardinals, and it was supposed to be me and Randy Orton throwing the first pitch because it was WWE night at the Busch Stadium in St. Louis. But so I was all excited to meet Randy. I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. I get to brag about Freddie Prinze Jr. and me and whatever. Well, there was some sort of scheduling hiccup. WWE had like a little bit of a scheduling hiccup, so Randy Orton couldn't make it. So I threw the first pitch for WWE night at Busch Stadium, and then Randy Orton threw the first pitch for the night after WWE night at the Cardinals game, which is so unusual.
Was that the first time you threw a pitch there?
For the Cardinals, yeah, that was my first time.
So which how many is that now? How many ballparks?
That's 21 Major League ceremonial first pitches.
You're going to get there, dude. For those that don't know, Jeff is on a journey to throw out an opening pitch in every Major League ballpark in the country. And I guess in Canada as well. Have you done Toronto yet?
I'm doing Toronto next week. I'm doing Cleveland tomorrow. So it's pretty cool. But what is cool, because I DM'd Randy and then we started talking back and forth. And
he's the man,
I was
dude.
like, yeah, he's really cool. And so we've been in a connection. Anyways, so enough about Jeff Dye. This Gunther Randy Orton feud, I think, could be really, really good. One, because both of these guys are amazing. But two, Gunther is on the, like we're all getting to know Gunther. We're all getting to like see him. He's growing. So to have like an experienced guy like Randy, put him over, and like, I would believe in this feud. It's good. Also, Gunther on the mic feels old school.
I'm telling you, he's better than you think. Like halfway through the promo, you're like, dude, this is a really good promo. And I think it's just the language and the language barrier and the accent, but he communicates so well. He probably speaks more than 2 languages. And he's just hyper smart. But once you start listening to what he says, it really sounds good. Like, here's the difference. He has to tell the perfect story because of the accent and language barrier that a lot of Americans like me probably have an issue with. Whereas LA Knight could give you a Derek Jeter type promo where he says nothing, and just the few things that he says get such responses because we love him so much. But they're completely opposite promos. Gunther's telling you everything. He's teaching you who he is, what he's about, what his opponents are about. Like he'll let you know. Damian Priest didn't get to tell you who Damian Priest was until after Gunther tried to define him. And then his promo was the response to that. And so when you can tell stories like that on the mic, you're a high level promo artist. And I think it's time that all of us, you already did, but me and the rest of us, give him his flowers as well. I wish I knew how to say flowers in German. I would have even said that.
Flowers.
You don't know how to say it.
Yeah, that was Russian, I think. I think that was just English with a Russian accent. I'm terrible.
CM Punk, Jeff, and
CM
Drew
Punk.
McIntyre fighting for the WWE bracelet. I will not demean this feud by saying what other people have very comically said, which was actually funny. Dude, are they fighting over a bracelet? Which kind of like minimizes.
What are we doing?
At the heart of it, that's what it is. It's kind of funny. But these two guys are like, Drew McIntyre's in his prime. No one's going to argue Punk's still in his prime. He's in his promo prime still. That doesn't go away. But he's in a stage of in his career where it's going to be more about the stories and hopefully getting other people over. Although I do think he deserves a win in this rivalry that they're going to have. But he doesn't care about anything but what that bracelet symbolizes. His 2 loves, his wife and his dog. I have a friend who just lost a dog. It damn near broke him. The last dog that I lost to cancer, she was the best girl ever. That broke my whole family. So when I see CM Punk going after, I'm like, yeah, get his ass, man. Do it for Larry. Yeah. That son of a bitch has Larry. I totally get it. I understand if other people don't. They're going to talk about another storyline here in a minute that other people are into, but I just don't think I'm the right audience for it. But this totally has me. I want him to get the bracelet back for the honor of his dog and for his wife, and I can't wait for him to do it. I think the next match Punk will get to win, or maybe it'll go 2 in a row for Drew and 1 more for Punk at WrestleMania or something. I don't know how they're going to do it. Don't take my bets on this one just yet. But yeah, man, I love this story. He called out Drew. Seth came out and dressed as Seth dresses. and Drew came out and interrupted them before they could fist fight. Just took off, man. He saw the bracelet and he's like, "You give me back my bracelet." And he ran out after him. And then Jeff's favorite guy came out, Bronson Reed. And Jeff, you can take it away if you want, or I will describe the destruction.
He annihilated Seth Rollins, and not just annihilate him. Annihilating isn't enough of a word.
No.
I also like the security couldn't do anything. The back staff, the old guard, they all came out, and all they did is barked and yelled at him. And Bronson Reed's like, "Shut up, I'm a giant. I'm going to keep splashing him from the top rope. And just when you think I'm done, I'm going to do another one." They splashed him so many times. His real injury became a kayfabe injury over and over and over because Bronson Reed splashed the crap out of him. It was one of my favorite moments in recent history. Plus, I love Bronson Reed. He's such a beast. So it was cool that they let him get the hurting done for sure. I will say that about the CM Punk briefly. About this whole bracelet thing. My friends Kyle and Ashley just lost their dog this week, and they're devastated over it. So rest in peace to Kona. So the dog love is a real thing. And I think also it hurts a little more when you don't have kids. Like, your dog is your kid.
Hell yeah,
it's like this,
I totally get that. I don't get mad
and
at people when they say, "Oh, this is my baby." I'm like, "You're not a real parent." No, I totally get it. I get it.
And CM Punk and his wife don't have kids either. Like, that was CM Punk's dog. It was his baby. So it's a big deal, and it hurts. So I kind of like that they've incorporated that. Plus, kudos to the WWE. Just when you thought they couldn't add any more championship belts or straps or whatever you want to call it, they add a bracelet that we're fighting over. They add a necklace for the tribal chief to fight over. You find a way to add more things to fight over, and I love that. So I love this story. I love how they've creatively going to give Seth Rollins some rest by creatively just making it look like Bronson Reed's a beast and splashed the hell out of him. So I was very happy with this part of the segment.
No more interesting clothes for a while as Seth Rollins recuperates and gets a whole new wardrobe sewn and tailor-made for him. Some baggy, some tight, some glittery, some shiny.
But, well, that part I'll be honest about. I hate his clothes. Whatever closet Seth Rollins shopping, what prop closet Seth Rollins is going to each week is terrible.
Nobody's like, "Yeah, let me see what's going on this week." No, they're like, "Oh, come on, man." Moving on to the Wyatt Six. And I'll give them this. They've given a real reason, an organic reason, to believe in a supernatural story. The motivation is, I believe, pure and intentional, and it's the memory of someone that not only do we all love, but they all loved and knew and had experiences with. And I think they've done a wonderful job with that. I can't say that attraction wrestling is still that I'm the demographic that is attracted to attraction wrestling, right? Like, I think The Undertaker and Bray were the last two that I could really believe in. And at 48 years old, it's just a little harder for me to jump on board with this. That's not saying they're doing a bad job. I think the job they're doing is really, really commendable. And the performances they've gotten out of Bo and a couple of the others has been really just beautiful to see Eric Rowan shed tears and a man that big, like, share pain like that. And it's real pain. And for the ones that aren't as comfortable on the mic, they've done a great job with editing and protecting those performances and still letting you know that there was a connection there somehow, right? If it wasn't through Bray, it was then through Bo. So I think they've done a good job with everything. I think I'm just too old to commit to smoke coming up in the ring and guys getting scared. Not to say I wouldn't do it if I didn't have my own thing, because I still think it's cool for other audiences. It's just not, it just doesn't fly for me anymore. Like, I remember seeing Rey Mysterio get scared when The Undertaker came out. And I feel like that's the last guy that I believed in when I'm so scared, here comes the smoke and the fire.
And that was a long time ago too, because
it was a long time ago.
He became a biker, and then he became, he was doing, and I think towards the end they kind of scrapped a lot of the paranormal Undertaker stuff. He was
most of it, yeah, most of
it was mostly an entrance. It was nothing,
Yeah. And I wonder if I even saw that kind of an entrance today, which they sort of do with the Wyatt Six. if I feel the same way. I think I would, but they're doing a good job. You, on the other hand, you like it.
You can find me to be a hypocrite about this because there are times when it has to be done really well for me to like it. Like when Matt Hardy is time traveling through soda pop machines, I'm going, what are we doing? Or if there's a guy like
so friggin' hard too.
Or just like I don't know what the wrestling term would be for it, but like when Orange Cassidy is, got his hands in his pocket, I'm thinking just clothesline his head off of his body. Like
sometimes he gets clotheslined. I learned to love
sometimes.
It. I was with you originally, but I've learned to love Orange Cassidy.
Well, I still like Orange Cassidy, but I'm saying there's sometimes where you're going, why are we playing along with this kind of thing? So it's got to be done really well. Finn Balor only winning or never losing as the Demon is another kind of example.
There's one that I forgot about. I like the Demon. Yeah, I like the Demon.
So there are these things. I was a huge Undertaker and Kane guy. Both of those had this real kayfabe, storyline. But I think the Wyatt Six they're doing it beautifully. And also I'm just so in love with Bray Wyatt and all the things Bray Wyatt used to do, that anything that is similar, I'm going, yes, give me more. So I really, really, really like it, but also I'm really, really, really biased. So.
So moving over to SmackDown, Cody is the world champion, and there's nobody that's been groomed to be the next sort of heel coming after him. So what does the champion do? He selects his opponent, and he selects someone that he feels is incredibly deserving, someone who's still on SmackDown, because it could have been Randy, but Randy's going to go after Gunther. Kevin's always had his back, and Cody's promo gets interrupted by Solo, and Cody kind of chews him up and spits him out a bit. And we got to say this, friggin' Jacob Fatu got genuinely hurt. And I think everyone was worried that it was a genuine one. And I think now it's confirmed that it is. And that just sucks balls. I love that dude so much. They called him the werewolf. I used to call John Moxley the werewolf, but I totally agree. He is the Samoan werewolf for sure. And now we don't get to see him, man. And I hope that didn't screw up their story too much. It didn't seem to, because I believe the A story going into the next big pay-per-views is going to be Solo versus Roman and old bloodline versus new bloodline. And we'll get a return of Paul Heyman. And these will be our main event matches. And the WWE champion will take a bit of a backseat, which is okay. He's still the champ. He's still outselling everybody and their grandma and the history of the universe in merch. So he's going to remain the champ for quite some time. The ratings are solid with Cody, so he's going to remain the champ for quite some time. But the real story here is, and I know Kevin and him will give a great match, but the real story is where does Roman and Solo go? So that's what I'd like to talk about, because I think there's finally an opportunity, Jeff, for something that you've wanted for a long time to finally happen, which is to bring in these outside relatives that have once been in WWF, when it was WWF, now WWE, to have them come back and pick sides.
Yep.
So that it's not only a fight for this necklace, it's a fight for like respect among the elders as well, which means The Rock could come back, which means Rikishi could come back, which means any of the old chiefs that are still around could come back. I know he just lost his father, which is horrible, but his uncle is still there. Like all these old schoolers could come, and you could have like a real bloodline rules match where it's
That'd be awesome.
An actual battle for the necklace, dude. So
why not
book this, bro? Book it. Do it.
Why not? Why not have and I know this would be quite a leap to make it seem like we were working you guys all the time. The entire time we've, like the bloodline is the bloodline. Sure, we have our differences, but we're united with our blood. And you just make this the bloodline 2.0 is the same as the bloodline originally, and they just dominate the WWE. I would love, 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 love to see that. Also, I think Cody's going to do a heel turn. I think, I don't know if it's soon. I don't know when it's going to happen, but when it happens, he's good enough and over enough to pull it off. And I think that he'll be able to. I think that's something he's always wanted. I think he's always wanted to be the good guy, and now that he is the good guy, I think that we're gonna see a twist on that. And so that would be great. I'd love it.
You don't think that he's going to be the John Cena for this young generation, where he never turns heel? You think they're going to flip the other way?
I think that they're going to make him flip the other way. Yeah,
he'll sell way less merch, man. And
I know.
That
and also, it's going to break
key.
his heart because he's wanted to be the guy his entire life.
We disagree on that. I think he's a cash cow as a babyface. I think they got to keep it like that for a long time. Maybe if he loses the belt to someone and that motivates the turn, but as champion, I can't see him losing. We're going to be betting against each other in the near future.
Well, then I'll do great.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about WWE before we finish with AE Dubs that I missed out on? We could talk LA Knight, new champ.
I will say LA Knight. I was going to say a thing. But I don't have it written down. Maybe you can help me. You know Spanish very well. When Escobar came out and did LA Knight's thing,
I love that.
LA Knight goes, LA Knight, yeah. And he goes, Escobar, see. It made me so happy. I don't think I've laughed harder in a wrestling thing in years.
I love that.
It just made me so, and I hope he keeps doing that because it's really funny.
I loved that. I love that he stole his thing. I think it could eventually even get over as long as he stays committed to it. They had an awesome match, by the way, Andrade and Escobar. I wish there was more of a story behind it. Maybe they could use this as the beginning of a story after LA Knight retains his championship against Santos Escobar, because they're not taking it off LA Knight. That's a lock bet. But yeah, man, Escobar and Andrade put on a hell of a match. There was double interference from Carmelo and this chick Elektra Lopez, who comes out with Escobar. She rolls with him. And Andrade had to lose, which sucked bad. I hate seeing Andrade lose, but the bad guys sometimes have to win, and I like when they do. So AE Dubs, y'all. AE Dubs. The only other heel besides Gunther that's able to generate what seems like real hate is MJF. And he changed the championship from the International to the American Championship. He came out in the Lex Luger, Lex Express gear. He's really selling this anti-England thing big, and I hope he goes even deeper with it. I can't wait for the promo he's going to cut in London when they have this match, before the match, and then Will Ospreay comes out to shut him up and beat his freaking ass. You don't talk trash to my people. But yeah, man, they're setting this up nice. This is the best match getting set up by far. The Bryan Danielson story is a heartwarming story, but I don't feel like he can win yet because his contract's up. And he's not going to be like a full-time guy. So
he needs neck surgery before the end of the year, and we're coming up on the end of the year, so there's just zero chance he wins.
So that's a hard one to go, yeah, it's the Jim Connors 1980s Wimbledon story. Like, here he goes toward the end. Can he do it? And it'll sadly end the way Jim Connors did, where he was not able to pull it off. So it's okay. Some stories can be tragedies, which is cool. It's very Shakespearean. And I think Bryan will make it as such, but it's harder to get behind that because I don't think anybody believes he can win. Go ahead.
Wrestling fans, shed no tears. When a wrestler tells you, oh, I can't wrestle anymore, or it's over, or here's my boots, or I need to give you the championship because I can't do it more, don't you shed one little cute wrestling tear, because they go nowhere. You're still going to see them week to week in a different position. They'll become the GM or a manager, or they'll become you'll see them. Bryan Danielson is going nowhere, even if he doesn't wrestle. He will be right there with you for the rest of your life. Trust me. So that's one thing. It'll be sad to not get to see him wrestle after, once he retires, but he'll be around. Look, we still got Ric Flair every day on your social media showing, videos to Mongo McMichael. That's a different thing. But the point is, wrestlers don't go anywhere.
I saw that video.
Don't be sad.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to leave us a listener review, whether they're nice or mean, I'll read them on the air. That's the only update that you get on it. Stay tuned for our Unsanctioned Thursday. We're bringing in another independent talent, this one a little deeper into the business, because not only did he wrestle, but he now teaches the people with dreams how to wrestle. We're bringing Danny Cage for Unsanctioned Thursdays. We'll get into that interview and a whole lot more. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. On behalf of Jeff Dye, I'm Freddie Prinze Jr., and I said all that in one breath. Peace. This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.